Do you remember the days when you had to operate levers and manually locking hubs to go into four-wheel drive mode? Well, fast forward to today and cars like the new Ford Everest simplify things dramatically. The Everest uses a terrain management system, or TMS for short, to try and make off-roading simpler. And today we're going to put that system to the test. The Everest starts at $54,990 and goes all the way up to a staggering $76,990 for the top spec titanium that you see here. TMS is controlled from inside the cabin using a rotary dial, and you change it to suit your conditions. So let's take a look and see how it works. It's all controlled using this dial right here, and allows us to move between normal, grass, gravel and snow, sand and rock mode. And today we're going to test each one of those features to see just how effective the system really is. This is the most common type of surface you're going to be driving on in the Everest. It's just a gravel road. We'll change the dial here to gravel mode, and instantly we feel that the throttle becomes a little less sensitive. The gears shift up earlier and downshift later. That gives the engine an ability to use its low-down torque instead of getting bursts of torque every time you touch the throttle. In the background, the TMS system is also sending torque to the front axle, which makes it easier when you're turning corners and getting into the throttle. You won't get oversteer or that sort of tail-happy feeling you get in some rear-wheel predominant four-wheel drives. Before we test out the sand mode, really want to try out the Everest hill descent control. So as we approach this section of hill, I'm going to come to a stop, turn the hill descent control on, and then all I'm going to do is let go of the brake and let the car control our descent speed. So as you can hear, the car's braking each wheel individually. We can also control the speed using the cruise control settings. We can go faster or slower. We can also intervene by using the brake ourselves, or even accelerating as well if we want to go a little quicker. So that hill descent control can be activated at any time and can be used on any size of hill. While the sand mode is great for stuff like driving on sand dunes, it's also really good when wading through water. And today we're going to test the Everest's impressive 800mm wading depth. So we have a pretty decent river crossing here in front of us. We've activated sand mode, and what that's going to do is give that throttle extra sensitivity. So every time we touch it, it'll be ready to move straight away without that sort of throttle delay. And it'll allow the wheels to slip a little bit more and maintain momentum, which is important when river crossing. And also we want to stay at the bow of the wave. So let's give this a shot and see how we go. We'll drop it in here. So there goes the front. We're now underwater. Drop the back in and get on that throttle. So I'm noticing immediately here, I've got that throttle response that I need, and we've come out the other side of that river crossing without even a remote drama. So let's find ourselves a big hill and try the infamous rock mode next. Now this is the most hardcore setting available, so we'll enter rock mode. It basically comes up telling us that we need to enter low range, so we shift into neutral, enter low range, and for a bit of extra control, I'm also going to engage the rear differential lock. Now what this setting's going to do is hold first gear for longer and try and control as much of the wheel slip as possible using traction control. The low range gearbox is basically a separate set of gears that multiplies torque. It's slower, but it gives us finer control over the torque delivery, which is essential in terrain like this. The center differential lock splits torque between the front and rear axles, and finally the rear differential lock splits torque between the two rear wheels. So in theory, we should have the wheels rotating at the same speed, which means we won't have any instances where one wheel is getting all the slip. So we are engaged, we are ready to go. So let's give this a shot. So as we climb this terrain, you can feel the Everest grappling for grip. We're in first gear, traction control is off, and as we enter these divots, the steering wheel is fighting against us to work up the top. Now, because we have an electrically assisted power steering system, basically giving us a bit more control, it's easy to use as well. This is really impressive. It's a hill that you literally can't walk up, and we are just crawling up here with no dramas at all. If we were to stop on this hill, which is currently reading at 21 degrees, let go of the brake, it'll hold it for 3 seconds, and then wait until you've applied throttle to get up the hill. Look at this, we can't even see where we're going at the moment. We're just facing the sky as we brake over this hill. That is seriously impressive. It's not just Ford either. Other brands like Land Rover, Mitsubishi and Jeep have their own versions of an off-road terrain management system. Well, there you have it. Today we really have proven that TMS in the Ford Everest is four-wheel driving for dummies. Now all I need to do is figure out where the hell I am.